Shah Rukh Khan was the only Hindi movie hero who you could not stereotype. The only time people wanted to stereotype him was after Dilwale Dulhaniya. So they wanted all the women in this country, all the directors in this country, all the producers in this country wanted to continue him playing Dilwale Dulhaniya. What did he do after that? He signed on a film where he became the villain, where he became a murderer. I mean, he defies convention. He's a risk taker. He's a flyer. He's a great guy. He's what they call a visionary and an entrepreneur. And the moment you put him into a box and say, okay, this is what you are, he'll turn around and surprise you by jumping out of the box and saying, haha, I fooled you. I'm not like that at all. I can be anything I want. That's Shah Rukh. How do you define him? He's a risk taker. He's willing to go into areas which nobody else is willing to go to. He refuses to be stereotyped. Every time you want to make him into a hero, you start playing a villain. You know, now how many heroes at the height of their career have suddenly signed on a villain role of a murderer who stutters? Kill. He not only did it, he did it with style and he got away with it. People loved him as the villain. Whether it's an ad film, whether it's a feature film, whether it's a documentary, his commitment is 110%. He'll sit with the director, however new, junior, scared he might be. Put him at ease, put the unit at ease. I remember once we were shooting a noodle film with him, you know, for a South brand, you know, a Japanese brand, Nissan. And the bowls that we needed, which I had selected, went missing from the set. And I threw a fit. I screamed, shouted. People ran away from the set and hid. All my assistants. You know, and Shah Rukh was sitting there quietly listening to this whole thing because we couldn't find the bowls. And I said, how can we miss the continuity bowl? And he made such a big attempt to placate my assistants who were shivering in their pants. He went there and said, don't worry, I'll handle him. You don't worry. I'll deal with this. Because they were ready to run away. They thought I was going to sell them. I was so angry, you know, that in a running set, how could the properties disappear? And important properties because they held the bloody product. And he went and talked to the unit behind my back and said, don't worry, I'll handle him. He came, put an arm around me, he said, hey, it doesn't matter, it's only a bowl, we can change the bowls. Whatever shots we've done with those bowls, we'll do again, I'm ready. Now, when does a star actor turn around and tell an ad filmmaker that half the film that's been shot with the continuity bowls doesn't matter because he's willing to reshoot it? He felt bad for the unit and he went and told them, don't worry, you guys just keep quiet, you know, and I'll placate him. And he came and told me, I'll do it, yaar, what's your problem? So, 2-3 ghante aur lagenge. How do you then define somebody like that? You know, I mean, how do you define a star when he knows you and your unit, you know, because you worked with him? In the middle of Film City, you're shooting with a whole lot of bunch of urchins. We're doing a public service film for the round table with a whole bunch of orphans under a tree. And suddenly this car stops, chink, and Shah Rukh gets out because he spotted the unit and us. And he comes out to say hello in the middle of RA. There's effing traffic jam all over the place. And he's walked into this slush and field and said, hi, what are you guys doing? And all, and spent 10 minutes chatting everybody. We were so overwhelmed. You know, those are moments for which if anybody ever criticizes Shah Rukh for anything in their life, those are the things I turn around and say, never. He's a gentleman. And he is a feeling gentleman. Why would he need to do that? The moment he becomes 50, he'll become like another Amitabh Bachchan, who can do children brands, to adult brands, to shootings, to serious public service messages, to anything. You see, he goes beyond bracketing. So if Pepsi says that Shah Rukh is too old for the Pepsi generation and now we need a younger star to represent the Pepsi generation, the moment Shah Rukh becomes 50, he'll be back into Pepsi. Because the younger generation then looks at him and says, he's a cool cat. I mean, when I'm 50, that's how I want to be. So he's an icon. He becomes iconic. Like Mr. Bachchan is. He's iconic. Mr. Bachchan defies all logic. He can sit with kiddies and do, you know, little mechanical toys, you know, and laugh with them and have a great time. Kids don't think that he's older than they are. And at the same time, he wears a suit and he turns around and tells somebody that listen, if you want to make an impression with for a job, for a young lady, for anybody, he's iconic now. Right? He's gone beyond stereotyping because he's also played lots of roles. Even at his age, he's broken the mold. He's gone out of that whole angry young man chakkar, because, and therefore his longevity. Everybody else lasts as long as the stereotype is. The moment the stereotype ends, then they end.